Hey, I'm Blake Thorne from process.st, and this is a demo of an employee onboarding workflow we've built using process.st. I'll walk you through how an HR team could use process.st to take a new hire from signing the offer letter all the way through all the setup and orientation and paperwork and systems updates, basically everything that needs to be done to consider them fully onboarded. So here we are in our process.st library. This is where all your workflows live. We also have a free knowledge-based product called Pages. Those can be stored here too. And all your workflows and pages can be organized into folders. So I'm just going to click into our HR library here and open our onboarding workflow. And you can think of the workflow as like the blueprint for your process. This is where you design the different steps. And then each new instance of someone working through this workflow is called a workflow run. That's like their unique copy of the workflow. So what I'll do is start a new workflow run for this particular new employee. And let's say this employee is Bob Smith. And I'll type Bob Smith as the name of the workflow run. And click this, we'll see the workflow run initiate. I'm just showing you what it looks like to start a new workflow run manually here. Another option is to start these automatically. That can be based on actions happening in other applications. So we could have an integration, for example, in our candidate tracking system like Greenhouse, and have our run kick off as soon as the offer is accepted. And then my team can get a notification that we have a new hire to onboard and show us what tasks to complete. So here we are now in our active workflow run, and this is starting the onboarding process for Bob Smith. And on the left side here, you can see all the different process steps. This is everything we've kind of written out and designed in the workflow. And on the right, you'll see all the info and data for the particular step that you're on. This can be, instructional content like text and images and video. It can be interactive stuff like form fields to fill in. It can even be, interactive content. It can have unique data pulling in and updating based on other systems and other activity happening, in this workflow. Really, the sky's the limit here. But for now, we'll take a look. We'll start kind of simple, and you'll see as we go through the demo some of the different things that can be here in this in each task. So obviously, onboarding is a little different for every company. This is a quick demo. This shows some of the different functionality and what it looks like inside process.st. Also worth saying, though, early that everything you'll see in here is super customizable. So we hope you see things that look immediately relevant for your company. Also encourage you to just use your imagination. I'm sure anything in your process can be built into process.st. And there's a reason that onboarding is our most popular use case with process.st. We've never met an onboarding process that we can't build in process.st. So all this in here is really easy for the workflow creators to set up. And since we're a no-code platform, you can just drag and drop. So if I was new to running this workflow, I could start out, let's say I am the HR manager kicking this off, and I can see we've got a video here from our VP of HR. He's here to help me understand how important the process is. Having this content embedded directly in the process, Intercorp doesn't have to separately train each HR onboarding member to use the workflow and drive the process. All the training and context is right in front of them as they do the work. So I will just complete this task to confirm I've seen this and go on to task 2. And notice I will assign people to manage the onboarding process. I'm going to select myself as the onboarding lead. And notice when I do that on the left, my face now appears next to all these steps that I'm now responsible for. So it's doing some assigning against these tasks based on me being in this new role now. I'll go ahead and select Jalen Washington as the HR director. And I'll add Will. There he is. I'll add Will as our IT specialist. Again, this is me demoing like the most manual way of doing this. for the sake of showing something on the screen here. If we wanted, we could have these roles and assignments populated automatically as soon as the workflow run kicks off. This could be based on different things like who's on the team, who's in different groups, what data is coming in from different integrations. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. And what's cool about having this model of our workflow and workflow run is you can push updates and changes to this master process blueprint to your workflow at any time. And then those changes will be there every time you kick off a new instance of a workflow run. You can even update workflow runs that are already in progress, which is also really cool. That means you don't need to worry about getting your process absolutely perfect in order to launch it. You can get something up and running as people go through it and execute on that process. Then you're going to learn, different ways to improve it over time by shipping small changes and updating it as you learn and as you get more resources to spend time improving your process. So for now, I will complete this task here, it looks like, and move on to step 3. And we can notice down here too, as we assigned Will and Jalen, they popped up on some tasks assignments as well. We'll see them further out. So I'm going to take a look at this next task here. And I am going to enter some employee information. It looks like that's already in here. We've used an integration to push data about the new employee in from the recruiting platform to process.st. So we've already got our info here filled in. I can look and kind of learn who this employee is, edit this, correct this if we have a detail wrong. But this is going to tell me who are some of the details about our new hire. And I'm actually going to take a look down here at the start date and change this. And you'll notice, let's pick a start date about a month in the future. And you'll notice that all the task due dates here on the left change relative to the start date I just selected. So I can see we've got a set of different dates, and they're all triggered to this start date here. So you can set dates, you can set static dates to always happen, a week out or so, or you can set specific dates to, if you have something that you want done on December 1st, you can code that in too. So I will go ahead and I think complete this task and move on to the next one. And here I'm going to select Bob's work region. Here's where process.st's conditional logic comes in to automatically provide only the relevant content. So notice how as I select different options here under region of employment, steps out here in my workflow change. So this is now, we have an intro to North America Intercorp here further out in our onboarding because I selected North America here. And you'll see the same with Europe and Asia. And what this really lets me do is ensure Bob is presented with the correct onboarding experience applicable to his region. This lets me build an overall experience that's flexible enough to adapt to different types of new hires, all without me having to maintain a separate workflow for these different regions. And you'll also see the content immediately below my regional selection has changed here. And so this is going to prompt me to make some further choices like office assignment and team assignment. So I'm actually going to select that the new employee Bob is working from North America. And I'll say he's in our Toronto office, and let's put him with me on the HR team. And I can go through and complete that task. And another note here, all of this is available to go through these tasks in our Slack app and also in email. So you can get notifications in Slack and email when you have tasks assigned to you. And most of the time you can also go through the work, complete tasks, fill things out, all without leaving, without leaving Slack, and even without leaving your email client. So I'm showing how you could go through this inside of Process Street, but this is kind of only one interface version for the workflow run. We want to make it super easy for, folks to get through their work wherever is most convenient for them. So in this example, I'm going to see a introduction to the next set of steps. And what we have here is just a nice embedded image with a little guidance from our company's general counsel on the importance of non-compete agreements. So I can take a look at this, and this is kind of consume-only info. I can just look at this and move on to the next task. So this task, we're going to send Bob a contract using our native integration with DocuSign. And all I need to do here to make this happen is complete this task. And our DocuSign automation is going to do the rest of the work behind the scenes, populating the document with the right info and sending the agreement over to the new employee. So right after I click that complete task button, notice how the automations icon here is spinning, and that's showing that Process Street is communicating with DocuSign, and we're going to see the check mark icon that confirms that the automation is complete and the non-compete was sent over to the new employee. So I can actually jump over to my email tab here and show what this is going to look like for Bob. So Bob is going to get an email here. It looks like it's come through from DocuSign, and here's this email coming in. I can go ahead and click review documents, and I think I can click continue right here. And now I'm looking at the contract in DocuSign. So this is what Bob would see. This can be any kind of contract or agreement, whatever you'd want to send through using DocuSign. You can do this once or a dozen times, or send them to different parties. Really flexible on, basically whatever DocuSign can do, you're able to configure inside of Process Street to kick that off. So one thing I want to point out here is notice how within the contract that we've sent over, we've got some info already filled into the contract here. And this is because our integration allows us to pass data back and forth. This is all variable data based on what we're sending in from Process Street. So we already know that can be, Process Street data can be populated based on data coming in from other platforms like Salesforce, our hiring platform. So you'll notice as we go through this, a theme is nobody's copy pasting. We've dramatically increased speed and cut down on our room for error by just allowing data to flow through from system to system securely. Nobody has to type the same thing twice or copy this from here and open this other application and paste it into here. We're building out a streamlined process here, and the humans in the loop are doing as little as possible, and we're able to just create a lot of efficiency that way. And you might think it takes, this might take longer to set up. Really, it's not too bad. This is all, like I said, no code, so non-developers can typically set up all of this. And on top of that, we've got some great professional service folks here at Process Street who can help out with some of this, even build out the whole thing for you in cases if that's what you're interested in. So we will go back to Process Street here. I'll go back to the Process Street app, and we should now be on step 7. It looks like we are. And in step 7, we are sending Bob a welcome email and asking him to make some selections for us. He's going to select a computer and cell phone. You can see we've got an email here, all pre-written, ready to go. And we've even got some dynamic data pulled into here. We've got, it looks like, the start day, and we've got his email address and name already. So all we have to do is open push send here. That's going to open up the email browser in a new tab, and I can send this out right here. If I want to adjust something or edit it, I can do that too, and I'll click to send this out. And again, nobody's copy pasting, making things a lot faster for the humans in the process. and really cutting down on the opportunity for mistakes and inconsistency. So I will not send this since Bob doesn't exist, and this would probably go nowhere. But for the sake of the demo, I will grab this link right here, because we've got a link to a Process Street URL in this email, and I want to show what Bob is going to see when he clicks that link, because this is a nice example of Process Street's guest user experience. So I will go ahead and open a new window in incognito here, so I'm not logged in to Process Street, so we can see this experience for someone who's never So I will go ahead and open a new window in incognito here, so we can see what this is going to look like for Bob. Since I'm already logged into Process Street, we want to see what it's like if you're not. And again, this is the experience for someone who's never seen Process Street, never created an account. They're just clicking the link that you sent over to them. And we can see here, Bob's going to see this step in the workflow that we want him to right now. He doesn't see any of the other steps in our workflow. We've only made this one task right now available to him through this link. So he can come in and we can get any of the introductory content we want. Again, we can add videos or images here if we want to jazz up this welcome a little bit. Really easy, really intuitive for him to come in and see what he needs to do. And he is actually going to select we've asked him to make some equipment selections for our IT team. Obviously, we want to get him set up and ready to go before his first day. No one wants to show up without a computer to type on. So he can do this, and he can see what to do to complete the task, and he completes that. And that's it. Nothing more for Bob to do. So I can close this window. I'll head back to our main workflow here. And we can see, after I've already completed this task when I sent him the email, obviously. And great. So we can see here we have a task that is, jump back over here. That should be completed. Yep, that is actually complete. Now we see this is completed. Bob went through and did this, so that completed automatically without us doing anything. And we can actually see his selections right here now. And this next task, we can see that Will, who is our IT specialist, he's now been notified of the new employee equipment selections. So he got this task as a notification in his email and Slack, and in Process Street. He's able to see that he has some tasks to complete now, and he's going to prepare the equipment for the new employee. And again, we can see we've actually pulled Bob's selections over into this task as well. So that's a good example of pulling data from one part of your workflow to the other. You've got something selected or decided already. There's no need to copy it over. There's no need to tell Will to go over here and look this up. It's just pulled in automatically for him. So Will's step and Will's work goes a lot faster too. So he's able to get in here and take a look at this and go ahead and confirm that we've just got some check boxes here that is asking him to confirm that he's got this prepared. So once Will gets our friend Bob's equipment set up, he can go through, check those off, complete the task. And as soon as Will completes that task, our director of HR, who is Jalen Washington, is notified that he needs to come in and do some reviews and approve some important tasks. Approvals are a big part of Process Street. And so you can see here we've got some approval mechanics built right into this task. So what Jalen could do is come in, he can approve these one by one, he can reject them with comments, and look through, kind of click into these if he wants more detail on the specific task. but basically this is putting these tasks in front of our approver and asking him here to go through and approve them or reject them. And he can also approve or reject with comments in bulk. So on a task like this, where you have a few different approvals being asked at once, he can take a look and approve all of them. So let's see, he will go through and approve these. And by the way, you can also he could also go through and do those approvals using the Slack app. And he could do those approvals entirely within Slack, just like we did here, or he could do those within his email without even he'll have to open the email, but without even leaving his email client, he can go ahead and approve things in there too and see everything we just saw. So we've made it all the way through our sort of pre-setup for Bob. And now we are ready for Bob's first day. And you can see we have a new section here that is all about Bob's first day. And we're starting to assign him some tasks here as well. So let's see what we're going to do here first. So right here, this is just one last bit of info and inspiration for our HR manager. Letting them know that we've made great progress so far. This is a little message from Jalen. And by confirming this, I'm confirming that we're kicking off the next step here. And then these are, again, we've got these task dates assigned conditional to relative to when we set Bob's first day. So I believe that the first day we set was December 7th, and so that's why we're seeing this due date here for December 7th. And we are also seeing that this is assigned to Bob automatically. And if you'll remember a few steps back, Bob was a guest member in our account. Now he's on the team, he's a full member. That means he can now start getting these tasks in his email and Slack app as well. So these are going to be right there waiting for him when he fires up his new computer, which he already selected. But again, he's still, even though now he's a full member in our Process Street account, he can still only see the tasks that are assigned to him and isn't able to edit or get visibility into anything that the folks designing this workflow didn't intend for him to see. So we're going to start off our day one onboarding, and here on step 12, Bob is being welcomed to the team and presented with a few onboarding videos from our leadership. We've got our CEO and looks like our SVP here. Notice this second video is tailored to the work region. I believe the handbook is as well. This is tailored to the work region we selected for Bob earlier in the process. Again, that's driven by Process Street's conditional logic feature. And this is great because it keeps us from having to build and maintain separate onboarding workflows, separate processes for every different region. If there's just like a small difference, if there's just a small difference in the content we want to deliver or the path we want folks to take, we can keep this master blueprint. We can keep our workflow consistent, but add these little twists for folks who have different, in this case, different regions. So Bob can go through, watch these videos, get a great orientation to the company, and he can come in, download our employee handbook. This is a PDF linked here. This could be any sort of file that you want to attach. You can put in a task anywhere you want. So Bob can get that, and he can just come in here too. And they're asking him to confirm. Maybe our lawyers wanted to be sure that he did that. So now we've got also a nice record of when he confirmed that he read the handbook, because unfortunately sometimes things go wrong and you need to revisit that later. But that's not going to happen with Bob. Bob's going to have a great time with us. So we are now in task 13, and Bob is also assigned to this one with a due date, and he has some more action to take here. And it looks like they're asking him to schedule and meet with the group leader for his team. And notice how the guidance in this step prompts Bob with information, again, on his work region and the group leader specific to his team. Again, this is all driven by conditional logic, by those decisions we made earlier on in the workflow. and those decisions that Bob didn't even see. So we have a task that he can't even interact with in this case that we've been able to tailor the experience that flows down to him later on in his onboarding and in the tasks he sees. So really dynamic the way you can change tasks based on activity happening in another one or in another application and so on. So this again is just a quick confirmation ask, and there's also a field here for any notes. We're going to have a great time together, and Bob can go through and complete this task. And we're also able to see, confirm that the information was delivered and when it was confirmed by Bob. And overall, a theme you'll notice here is we're not only just creating a better onboarding experience for all these different participants in the process here, you're creating a better record of what's happening in your organization. You're kind of creating this really rich audit trail of this process. So if you need to look into it later on, improve things, something comes up and you need proof of something happening at a specific time, you've done a lot more than just send them a packet or send them an email with a bunch of attachments. You've got like a really rich audit trail for this whole process. And it's something that Process.st is able to capture as you go through. So we are going to complete that last task. So we're going to jump to this next one here. Oh, this is a cool one. This step's going to send a Slack message informing everyone. This is also using our integration with Slack. And this is going to inform everyone that Bob has completed his onboarding. And all I need to do to complete this is click complete here. And Process.st's automation, again, we see this up here. Process.st's automation is going to communicate with Slack and automatically post a message to our channel in Intercorp, letting folks know that Bob's onboarding is complete and he is a part of the team. And I think if we jump in here, yep, we'll see that right here. So Process.st bot has came in and let folks know, and then the rest of the team can come in, say hi, and congratulate their new teammate. And again, that's using our automation with Slack. So I think there's one last step here, it looks like. Yep, one last step in this before we complete this onboarding process and complete this demo. So let's say we have a department head who's maybe a little stuck in their ways. Even though we've got a great record of Bob's onboarding now in Process.st, maybe they have another spreadsheet somewhere that they're asking us to update. Totally fine. We don't have to fight over it. We can automatically send data over to a Google Sheet, over to other systems, and populate some data in other systems if we have some other place where we're keeping a record of this onboarding. And all I really need to do here is click complete task. By the way, a lot of these where we're just looking at something and clicking complete task, you might be wondering like why even push complete task. So this is a demo and I wanted to kind of show how that could work and show what we're doing as we take these automation steps. But another thing that could happen is this could just be running behind the scenes. You could have hidden tasks or hidden steps inside Process.st that are doing these automations, and Bob might not even know that, or Bob might not even have to, push or me on the HR team might not even have to push a button here to say complete. We can just have that happen in the background too. So that's kind of something you can grow into if you want to have it like this for now and ship an update later that does this more behind the scenes. But I will show how this looks, and we're gonna see our pop of confetti and completed banner here is letting us know that the overall workflow run was complete, and this is going to pop in the link to the spreadsheet that we just updated, and we can see it's highlighted right here. Yep. Looks like that's the exact time right now, and we've got our newest version of Bob Smith added over to this spreadsheet. So yeah, now and again we've seen that Bob Smith has now been successfully onboarded to the Intercorp team. Round of applause for Bob and all the folks who brought him on through this process. And yeah, that's the demo. If any of this looks like it would be valuable to your organization, we'd love to show you more. You can head to our website at process.st. You can book a call with our team. You can try the product for free. We can even many times build out a custom demo based on your own process, and we usually do that free of charge. So definitely check it out. Head to process.st. Thank you for watching.